Mrs. Szymanowski here from TCS News, coming at you live from Triple Wren Farms. It's just one farm. Triple Wren Farm. And I am going to take you on a virtual field trip. I bet you've never been on one of those yet. I haven't, my first. And I have the privilege of having Mr. and Mrs. Peabody right here next to me.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, guys.
Thanks
How are
for
you?
coming to our farm. We're great.
Yeah.
We're fantastic.
Awesome. They're great and fantastic. All right. What do you guys have for us first?
We're gonna go look at the blueberry patch.
Woo! Blueberries. We're going to learn some things about blueberries. I bet you all love blueberries on your pancakes. I guess I should have this here. On your pancakes, in your muffins, on your ice cream. So we're going to go learn about them. All right, here we go. Mr. Peabody's going to help me start this tractor. Clutch in. I think I know what I'm doing. Here we go. Class, we are at the blueberry patches and I have Mrs. Peabody here and she's going to give us a little talk about blueberries and give us some information.
Hi, third graders. So thanks for coming to my virtual blueberry patch today. What's happening in the blueberry patch right now is that all winter we had these stick-looking bushes and then they leafed out and these beautiful little white buds started coming. When the bees saw these blooms, they got so excited and they went in there and drank some of the nectar and smooshed around all the pollen, and look at these tiny little blueberries that they've started. Here's some that are a little further along. You can see they're little green berries and they'll turn blue later, but bees don't necessarily do all of them at once. So when you go to the blueberry patch, tickle the blueberries and the most ripe ones will fall into your hand, and the ones that got a later start, you can get them the next time you come to pick blueberries.
Oh, fun. Oh, I hope you guys will come out and pick some. Hey, I do have a question. When do they actually start turning? So you showed us some of the fruit. When do they actually start turning blue?
So they'll get bigger and juicier and sweeter, and right about the middle of July they start turning blue. They turn pink first and then purple and then blue, and when you taste one and it doesn't taste like a tart candy anymore but it tastes sweet, then you know they're ready.
Ooh, yum. Isn't it making you hungry? Chloe, come over here for a second. I have a question for you because I'm sure some of your friends want to know this about the blueberries. Well, first of all, Mrs. Peabody, how many blueberry bushes do you have on your farm?
You know, I've never counted them, but we have about 2.5 acres of blueberries.
That's a lot. I would say that's a lot. So Chloe, what's your favorite thing that your mom fixes or that maybe you make using blueberries?
Probably blueberry muffins.
Blueberry muffins. Maybe Chloe will make some and invite you over for some blueberry muffins and blueberry bubble tea. Ooh. She's thinking about it. All right, you guys are gonna follow us now to our next adventure on Triple Wren Farm to
the pumpkin patch.
Pumpkin patch, here we come. Hello class, we're over here now at the pumpkin patch at Triple Wren Farm, and Mr. Peabody is going to give us a little demonstration, a little education on their pumpkins that they've planted and how far along they are. Mr. Peabody, tell us about these. First of all, can you tell us about this thing? What is this?
This is a transplanter. So this allows us to put this implement on the back of our tractor and then have people ride in the 2 seats that are there. And as they are passing over the rows, if you kind of zoom in a little bit, I'll show you.
Yeah, there's Chloe right there. She's in it.
This is one of our chief planters here at Triple Wren Farm. And as we drive forward, this mechanism will actually punch holes in the plastic or the soil. If you're planting straight into the soil, these will punch holes into the soil, and that makes a little hole that you can put a seed in there, or actually a little transplant. If you're planting a lot of transplants, you can have this area here to hold them, and then this great big tanks of water, you can just turn this waterer on, and as soon as you're done planting them, it puts a little bit of water right there on top of the plant and waters it in.
Wow, it does it all. It saves Chloe and Trey from doing it all themselves. Wow.
Unfortunately, it doesn't weed for us, so we have to weed after we plant.
All right, you need to work on that contraption.
Yes,
A weeder.
yes.
Okay, tell us, can you, cameraman, maybe you can look at some of these little leaves down here and Mr. Paybody can tell us what they are.
All right, so these are pumpkins we planted a while ago, and we plant our pumpkins in May so that when you come to the farm in the end of September or in October, you can actually have ripe pumpkins. If we don't plant them now, you don't get them later. So what we'll do is we will take this little bitty seed. Let me go behind me because there's some empty holes here.
Okay, I'm gonna let
We'll
the
take
camera
this-
zoom into you.
We'll take these little bitty seeds, and these are a warty gourd. These came from a gourd that I actually saved the seeds from in the fall. I chopped it in half and got the seeds out, and then I dried them, and now we're ready to put them back in the ground so they can grow. So we'll take this seed, put the seed in the ground, and we'll cover it up with just a teeny bit of soil so that the birds don't get it and so that it can get some moisture and start growing. And if our seeds look anemic, we plant two. So we'll put those two in the ground and we'll cover them up. Here's another hole. We'll put this and we'll cover them up, and then the miracle of creation is the seed gets a little bit of moisture and it starts putting up a little shoot, and before you know it, it's got big old leaves and it keeps growing, and then it's got vines and starts putting flowers, and they get pollinated and they turn to gourds and pumpkins, and bam! We have a field full of orange pumpkins, and yellow and white and crookedy and gourdy and webby, all kind of stuff. Mrs. Paybody has gone a little overboard by the diversity of what we have here in our pumpkin and gourds, because she likes gourds and pumpkins and she likes strange things. She married me after all.
All right, one last question for you. Wow, that was very educational. But I know all these third graders are wondering, can they come here for a field trip and see all these beauties in full bloom in October?
They can come in October and they can pick out their favorite pumpkin if their mom and dad let them, and they can buy a carload.
There you
if
go.
they can convince their folks.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Paybody. Now I want you to join us. We're going to head over with Mrs. Paybody and we're going to go to the Dahlias. You guys saw those last October, I believe. In full bloom, they were beautiful. We made bouquets. Do you remember that? She's going to take us over and show us baby dahlias right now. Here we go. Hello again, third graders. Thanks for following along. We are here in the big dahlia field. Remember that? They were huge last fall, and now Mrs. Paybody is going to give us a little lesson on the baby dahlias and what happens. All right.
So when you were here, they were taller than you, and now they're so small. And I'm gonna actually dig up one of these babies and let you see what's underneath of it. So what happens is in the spring, we plant little clumps of tubers that look like this. Just little clumps of, looks like broken up wood. We plant it, it doesn't have a green sprout. We plant it, and then the green sprout grows. And this one's a little slow, but that's okay. They grow and it'll keep growing. We actually do some special things to take care of it, like we pinch it. Isn't that mean? Can you imagine? We pinch it one time and then it grows up and it makes flowers, and we have a lot of work to do still. We've planted our dahlias and there's some irrigation in here. You can see it's hiding underneath there, but so that's gonna help us water it, but we have to put big stakes in here and put rope around it so that it can hold them up, because dahlias can get floppy in the wind. We don't want that to happen, so that when you come to visit us in September, you can see these flowers growing so big and tall, and there's so many kinds. There's big ones, tiny ones, and you might remember almost every color except for blue. Dahlias don't have the chromosome or the gene that makes them be blue, but every other color. They're so fun.
Wow, that's interesting that they don't have the chromosome to make them blue, but they are beautiful colors. Okay, so that tuber I guess that's kind of like the seed, but it's a
Yeah,
tuber.
it is.
It's like a huge seed.
Yeah, dahlias can make seeds. God made every plant so that it wants to reproduce. And most plants can only do that, or a good number of plants can only do that by making seeds. Like, that's how pumpkins are planted, from seeds. And I have some other seeds to show you later in my pockets. But dahlias, even though you could plant a seed, if you planted a seed, because they have a very broad chromosomal diversity, you wouldn't know what kind of flower you were going to get. So we plant these little tubers and we sell them to people all over too, so they can plant them, because that's sort of like cloning this dahlia. I'm taking a piece of one dahlia that I know what is, planting it, and then it makes the exact same flower.
Wow, amazing. You guys remember from our memory work that God made, He created plant yielding seeds. Remember that? Plants yielding seeds. I think that's what it was. Do you remember that, Chloe? Chloe's behind the camera right now. All right, that was wonderful. And I am excited to come back and see the pumpkins and the dahlias. I hope you guys get to do that next fall too. All right, I think now we're headed over to see the chickens. Woohoo! Woo, bok bok! Let's go! Welcome back. We've moved over to the chickens, and I have Chloe Paybody here with me. You all know her very well, and she's going to give us a little demonstration of their chicks. Their chicks of, how old are your chicks now, Chloe?
We got them April 8th, so.
April 8th, so they're a little over a month, maybe 6 weeks old or so?
Right now
6
they're-
weeks?
They're in the awkward teenage stage where their feathers are halfway growing, so.
They're kind of in a teenager stage, she said. All right, you want to show us? Why don't you get one out? She is not afraid of these chicks at all. She's already shown me, demonstrated how to hold one. Look at that. I want to close this door, but she says they won't come out. Okay, Chloe, what's this little girl's name? Is this a hen?
Yeah.
This is a hen.
This one is Lightning.
Lightning. Tell the camera, tell the third graders why that one's called Lightning.
Because she's usually very quiet.
Oh, and
It's
does she
very
run
fast.
away? She's very fast. Did you see that? You saw lightning.
Oh my.
Speed out of Chloe's hands. Oh dear, we have a little problem. But Chloe's gonna take care of it. She knows just what to do. All right. I have a question for Mrs. Paybody. She's coming over here because I want to know, and I'm sure you want to know, why do you guys, here she's back with us, why do you guys have chicks?
So we have chicks because they help eat slugs and bugs at our farm. Those critters would eat our flowers, so we have chicks so that they will help us control those, and also so that they will grow into chickens and we can eat their eggs for breakfast.
Oh, yum. I love fresh eggs from chickens. That's great. And bugs. Chloe told me earlier that they eat flies.
They go hunting for flies.
Oh, I wish I had a chick at home. We have lots of flies. All right. We are going to
It's okay. She's
move
just
on
gonna
to the
keep
next
it
event,
right
which I think is pigs. All right. So stay tuned. All right. We are in the pig pen now. And we have 3 pigs behind us, so they're wandering around, big black pigs. And I'm going to tell you why a couple of those have really fat tummies, especially one. Actually, Mr. Paybody is going to tell you all about them.
Yes, so 2 of our pigs, stand on the side of me. 2 of our pigs are about to have piglets, and one of them is just he's just kind of sneaky. So I got some milk here. We feed them leftover milk that doesn't. When the milk goes close to date at the store, they can't sell it to the humans, so I bring it home to my pigs, and my pigs love it. And then we also just do grass clippings here at the farm, and they love to eat these grass clippings too.
Oh, wow, look at that.
They'll just munch them on down, but they really like this milk. So I'm gonna go over there and give them some more milk. So hold on,
Okay,
here we go.
cameraman, you just follow him. Camera girl, I should say. Did you eat that?
And you notice there's a little bit of white stuff on this pig, because if you're not careful, those pigs will jump right into that milk. Almost like they want to cool off. They just get in there and they rub around in there. And it keeps them cool, because God didn't make pigs to have any sweat glands. So that's why they like to get down in the cool dirt, roll around in the mud, and that keeps them a little bit cooler. You can see he's already jumping on in there. I'm gonna empty this one too. So they'll drink and drink and drink, and when they're done drinking, then they're gonna look. They're already jumping in that trough. Now they. That's why I have to keep filling that thing up, because they jump in it and splash all the milk out, and then cool themselves off a little bit.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to this other mama pig, and I'm gonna try to feed her an apple, see if she will take a snack. She's pretty close to having piglets, so maybe even this afternoon she might have piglets.
Okay, you want to add this apple?
Yeah, let me feed her this one first though. She's real close to having piglets, so she doesn't like to move around a lot, and I'm not gonna make her work for this apple.
Okay, we're back here again talking about the pigs, and I'm curious what they eat. So you just showed us the milk bucket over there, and Chloe told me she doesn't ever get in it, so good thing. Tell us what they eat. What do pigs eat? I have this apple in my hand.
Yeah.
And what else do they eat?
Well, pigs are omnivores, so they love plants and meat. So we mainly feed them plants that they rustle up here on the ground. You'll see they're behind me. They're looking at this grass that I just mowed just a little bit ago, and they'll snick through it. Well, they're a little distracted because they see I have this apple in my hand, and they're trying to get this
so
apple.
I'm actually gonna give. Can I?
Yeah.
Which one? Or should I toss it, or what should I do with this apple?
Yeah, if you're brave enough, you can feed it right to it. You brave enough?
I think so. Which
Okay.
one, the mama?
Come over here and give it to her.
Okay.
We just gotta be real slow because
Yeah.
she's close.
Okay.
I'm gonna give her this one first.
All right.
Let her.
She's looking a little
You
nervous.
come. I'm gonna split it in half, and then you feed half of it to it. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Ew. Will she eat this?
She will eat it.
Look at that. Would you guys eat that? Okay, she's gonna eat it. Can I just set it down there?
Yeah. And I'll slide it right to her if you don't want it.
Yeah.
Here you go.
She's due anytime, so I don't want to get too close to her.
We gotta treat
I
her
wanna respect
extra
her.
special.
All right. And then, did you tell the class when she is when she should be having her piglets?
She
Woo!
should have her piglets probably any day now. She might even have them this afternoon or this evening, or maybe tomorrow morning. We were hoping that she would have them before Mrs. Szymanowski was here so we could show you piglets. But they're being stubborn and they're not coming out as quick as we'd like.
That's okay. It was great to get this milk bath. Now you've seen pigs take a milk bath. And
Now you know they take milk baths. Now you know why my pigs are so beautiful.
Yeah, aren't they? Just glowing with beauty. Okay. So, if she ends up, what's her name? The one who's going to have babies right away, right here. Does she have a name?
Annabelle.
Annabelle. Annabelle. Okay. If Annabelle has babies soon, will you guys be able to take a little video of that and we can share with the class?
We'll send videos. And
All
Chloe Wren
right.
can
Awesome.
show you lots of pictures.
Okay.
Oh, there we go, another milk bath.
There she goes. He.
Yeah, he's
That's
the
a
he.
he.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, class. I think we are headed over to the rose bushes, the rose garden here. All right, so stay
He's gonna get
tuned.
us wet with milk if we.
Hello, third graders. We are back here, over here now. We've moved to the rose gardens. I didn't know that these guys had rose gardens, but they do. And we thought it would be kind of fun to talk about some tools that they use at the rose gardens, but maybe other places too. I have here Trey Paybody. This is Chloe's older brother. He's in the logic school. He's very smart. He's already told me some things that I didn't know I'm learning. And he's going to talk to us about tools. We're going to start with this. I actually know what this is. I bet some of you do too. This looks like a shovel to me. What do you do with this?
Yes, this is a shovel. You are correct. So what we'll do with this shovel is that our transplanter can dig holes in the fabric, but when we don't want to dig holes in the fabric, we just want to dig a hole in the ground. To plant the roses, for example, we can use a shovel like this.
Okay. So when you planted those roses, did they have all those leaves on them?
No, they didn't have very many leaves on them, but they were still ready to grow.
Okay.
So
they've really
Yes,
expanded since you
expanded quite a
planted
lot.
them. Okay, great. Tell me what, well, this thing is kind of scary that I'm holding here. What is this?
Yes. This is called a hori hori. So it looks like a knife.
Yes, it does. Here, I'll hold this.
Okay. It looks like a knife. It basically is a knife. It's got a very long handle, but here the blade is cupped so you can dig holes with it. And then if you come across a very thick root that you can't dig through, then it's got serrated edges right here so you can saw through that root, and then that root won't be a problem anymore.
Wow, are you watching him and going, oh, be careful? I
Yes.
am. Okay, now tell me about this contraption. What's that called?
This is called a hula hoe. This is something most of you probably have not seen. Essentially, each side of this is a blade, so I can take it down to some weeds and I slide it back and forth, and it cuts all the roots under the weeds so that they come up easily. I could pull the weeds, but then that makes my back kind of sore. So I can take this and destroy all the weeds like that.
That is awesome. Okay, I need to try that. In fact, Mr. Szymanowski would love this. So you just wrap it around a weed.
Yeah, you want to
No.
slip it upside down.
This
so the
way?
blades, yes, you can cut
yeah.
all the roots.
Okay, and I just
Pull it backwards.
oh,
There
that
you go.
is sweet. Okay, one of my worst jobs at home is pulling weeds, but if I had one of these hula hoos, I might be in business. All right, Trey, thank you. You know what? Before we stop this video, Mrs. Paybody told me that if you look behind me, they have over 1,000 roses that are going to be blooming in June. So, if we're able to get out and about in June, maybe you can call up Mrs. Paybody and say, I want to come look at your roses. She might just say yeah. All right, now we are going to go over to some sweet peas. Thank you, Trey.
You're welcome.
Welcome back, class. We are here over at the sweet peas. We've moved into, it's like a big greenhouse, but it's called the tunnel. I just learned that today, the tunnel. We're in the tunnel, it's hot in the tunnel. But look at these. When I said we were headed over to the sweet peas, did you think they were like green little peas that you had to eat at the dinner table? Well, they're not. They're flour, and they smell delicious. But you can't eat them, can you?
You can't. They actually are poisonous if you were to eat these peas. But they're used in weddings and all kinds of things because they're so fancy.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. It kind of makes you want to get married just so you can get some sweet peas.
Woohoo!
Okay, tell me, when do you start growing these? Do you plant them from seeds?
Yeah, so my birthday's in February, and I usually plant them from seeds right here on my birthday. That's my tradition. And then they grow, and we just started picking these this week. And with sweet peas, they keep you super busy because you have to pick every sweet pea every day, or it's gonna go very quickly to seed. And remember how I said God made plants to want to reproduce? Well, once they've done their job, they kind of quit making flowers. They've made seeds, so I want them to keep making flowers. They'll grow all the way up to that bar. I'm gonna put another line of this netting up here, and we'll have so many sweet peas if I keep them cut, and we sell them to a lot of different people. So here's how you cut them.
Show us, yeah.
Yeah, so they just grow on these vines, and you find the stem, and you go down with this nice long stem sweet pea. You add it to your collection if you wanted to, and then you just go along and you just pick them with your snippers. They have nice form. The second flower will open tomorrow. Here, add those to your bunch. There you go.
Okay, and so you said that they would grow all the way up to that pipe up there if you let them, or that bar. And so how long are you going to let them grow?
I will let them grow until they get too tired because they're a great moneymaker for our farm. We cut them and sell them, and I want them to keep going.
Oh, great. So come out here in the summer and buy some sweet peas. Wait, when are they in full bloom? When can
They
come buy
start.
them?
Well, so we don't usually sell them from the farm, but if you want some, you just send me an email and I'll give you some.
Oh, she probably would. She's so generous. Okay, well there you go on sweet peas. But I wanted, first of all, our camera assistant today is Ming-Mei Szymanowski, and she is in this really hot tunnel, and she's sweating up a storm back there, so we've got to hurry and get out of here. But I want our cameraman to just kind of do a little panoramic down that way and show all the different veggies and maybe flowers that the Paybodies have planted.
We got some pickled cucumbers, and Trey's got some fancy glass gem corn that we're trying to grow for holiday decorations for Thanksgiving. Got sunflowers
Over there,
behind
down
you.
over there. Yeah.
Got onions and garlic and all kinds of fun stuff. There's even a whole bunch of eucalyptus in the corner.
That's awesome. So that concludes our virtual field trip here. I want to thank Mrs. Paybody, little Chloe Wren, and, well, she's getting big. If you saw her, she's really grown. And then Mr. Trey over there, and Mr. Paybody is off working hard like, you know, farmers do. So thank you so much.
So
for this.
welcome.
This is
Thanks
great.
for visiting our farm.
Yeah, and you guys stay tuned for, you guys will have some questions to answer. All right, thanks.